Hey guys, Power from DualFam here, bringing you an alien deck profile. I've had this deck for a while. I've tested many variations of the deck, and so far this is my favorite build. Towards the end of the video I have some gameplay footage, just so you guys can get a feel for the deck and see how it plays and see why I incorporate some of the cards I incorporate in this build. We're just going to go ahead and get into the deck profile. First we have Alien Omanite. Alien Omanite being a level 1 tuner that lets you go into your synchro plays very easily. His effect, he gets normal summon. You can special summon one level 4 lower alien monster from your graveyard, and it gets destroyed at the end phase. Then we have 3 Alien Shock Trooper. Alien Hunter, one of the key components in my build personally, just because he is a water type, and we'll get into that once we get into the extra deck. Next we have another Alien Warrior. He's just here for alien presence. I need level 4 alien monsters in my graveyard just so I can pull off Alien Omanite's effect, and having 2 Alien Warriors in here really helps in that. I used to have it up to 3, but I did cut 1 Alien Warrior and added 1 Alien Hunter to the build. Next, very staple card in level 4 decks, Goblin Bird. Pretty self-explanatory. And also I run 2 copies of Summon Monk, being that I run a high spell count in this deck. Summon Monk is a must, and also he lets me go into my win conditions a lot. Finally, for the monsters, I run 1 Rescue Rabbit just because I run 3 vanilla alien monsters. Getting into the spell and trap cards, I run 3 Swords Revealing Light. You will see that I run a lot of continuous spells and trap cards in this deck, and that's just for the effects that I get off the monsters in the extra deck. Next up, 3 Messenger Apiece. Messenger Apiece, also like the Swords of Revealing Light, lets me stall first turn just so I can get off my plays quicker, and the 100 life point damage that you take from Messenger Apiece effect during your standby phase really doesn't affect me that much, so I'm not too concerned about it. I also run 3 copies of Kaiser Coliseum. Very good in this deck, especially first turn, just when I get off my rank 4 and I get that amazing first hand. It lets me stall my opponent even more. Combined with Swords of Revealing Light, they can attack, and they can't have more monsters than I have on my side of the field with Kaiser, which by that point, their first turn, I only have 1 rank 4, and it's about 2300 attack. So that's very good. For the curveball in the deck, I run 3 Mass Change 2. Mass Change 2 allows me to go into Acid using Hunter, and then also allows me to go into Darkalaw using the Summoner Monks. And pitching cards from my hand in this build really doesn't affect me that much. For the last spell card, of course, Raigeki. Raigeki is very essential in this deck just because when my opponent blows my side of the field up, which happens constant, but somehow the deck needs the destruction just so it can actually come back even stronger and take the opponent out. I also am thinking of replacing one of the Mystical Space Typhoons in the deck with Dark Hole. For the trap cards, staying on the topic of continuous cards, Phoenix Chain, very good, lets me stop my opponents from getting their effects off just so I can go ahead my turn and blow up. It's very good, and I can recycle Phoenix Chains, and it's insane. For the last of the continuous cards, I run 3 Call It Haunted. Call It Haunted is very staple card and very necessary card in this deck just so I can go into the OTKs. Then I also run 1 Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill I like it because of the effect negation, but I also like it because of the effect negation that I get on my turn once it goes off to the grave. And for the final card, Mirror Force. Mirror Force, very essential, just in case I don't pull my swords or my messenger piece. I most likely pulled my Mirror Force, and at least I can protect myself. In the extra deck, I run 3 Cosmic Fortress Golgar. Golgar being the reason I run all the continuous spells and trap cards. His effect being he can bounce back all the face-up continuous spells and trap cards to the owner's hands, and then he can place 8 counters to the number of spells and trap cards that were returned to the hand on monsters on my side of the field. And then his second effect, he can take 2 of the counters off and destroy 1 card on my opponent's side of the field. So, very good. Next, for my rank 4 searcher, King of the Feral Imps lets me search into Almanite first turn, and second turn I can go ahead and special summon whatever material King of the Feral Imps had, so I can special summon Golgar second turn. Very good. And then for the reason I run Mass Change 2, the 2 Dark Claw and the 1 Acid, being that Dark Claw is very good against the meta, and also Acid lets me pop my opponent's back row. That's why I don't mind siding one of the MSTs for a Dark Hole. And then for the rest of the extra deck, we have very common staple rank 4s. We have Dark Rebellion, XYZ Dragon, number 101 Silent Honor Arc, number 39 Utopia, the Castel, the Gagaga Samurai, and the 103 Ragna Zero. Alright guys, we're into the how-to part of the deck profile. I'm going to show you guys a few plays with it and what a first good hand would look like with this deck. We would have Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit first turn is very good. You go ahead and banish him using his effect. Special summon 2 Alien Shock Troopers from your deck, and then you go into your King of the Feral Imps using King of the Feral Imps effect to search for Almanite out of your deck into your hand. And being the way that this deck is built, you obviously will have one of these cards in your hand, one of these continuous cards, which this is where you either set these or you activate this, which normally you would activate this and either set that, and then that would end your first turn. And then your second turn you would go ahead and use King of the Feral Imps effect again, just so you can search out for your Hunter if you want to go into an Acid play, or you can just search into another Almanite just so you can make sure you have what you need for your synchro plays. Then you would normal summon Almanite, use his effect to bring back the Shock Trooper from the graveyard, and then synchro summon into Golgar's effect. By that time, you should have some sort of back row presence, there be it trap cards or just another magic card. And in that moment, you would go ahead and activate Golgar's effect, bouncing back all of these, and going into his second effect, take 2 tokens off, destroy 1 card on your opponent's side of the field, which is very, very good. Then we have the unexpected plays of the deck. We have Alien Hunter with the Mass Change 2 going into the Mass Heal Acid, which in this deck is not very hard to do, especially because you run King of the Feral Imps, which will let you search your Hunter. And if you do search your Hunter and it is in the grave, because of Almanite's effect, because you use it to synchro summon or use it to actually Xyz into Feral Imp, you also have the Call of Haunted, which is a staple card in this deck. And then also going into the Summoner Monk with the Mass Change 2 into the Dark Claw. People do not expect that from this deck, and also it will throw people off going into game 2 with Darklaw, especially if they're running a deck that really depends on the graveyard. Alright guys, and that was an Alien deck profile. I really hope you guys like it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Give me some feedback on the deck. Give me some feedback on the channel. Like my Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and also the Facebook will be coming up soon. And I'll just leave you guys now with some gameplay footage of Aliens versus Speedroids, and also against Galaxy Eyes.